Yeah, I have a special relationship with the word trust. When I set out to, I mean, my story with regards to health advocacy began when my mom got sick over a decade ago. At this point, she developed a rare form of dementia that crept up in her late 50s, which is very young. And I was in between jobs at that point. I had left this gig that I had had for 6 years. When it was my first job out of college. I was a presenter on TV in the United States as a generalist journalist. And I left that job, which was an incredible job, very cushy job, where I felt I was not only earning a living, but I was earning a living doing something that I felt was really important. And I was living in Hollywood as somebody in my 20s. That was a really fun time for me, you know. But at the end of the day, I wasn't here doing like, you know, frivolous, superfluous, like entertainment stuff. I was a journalist on TV, and so that it was a really meaningful job for me. And that when that job ran its course, I really struggled to find like the next gig. Because it was just that rare of an opportunity, particularly in Hollywood. And I was essentially unemployable as anything other than a host or a presenter, because that's what I had did for 6 years post-college. So I was in my like late 20s, about to enter my 30s, and I had done nothing but write copy and produce content. And there was basically like no other outlet for me. This is like just at the very beginning of YouTube. And then in my personal life, so like YouTube wasn't yet like, nobody really saw it as a viable career to be like a YouTuber at that point yet.
Oh, how things have changed.
Or content creator or podcaster, like that hadn't existed yet. And it certainly wasn't on my radar to become an author. And then in my personal life, my mom, the most important person in my life, was diagnosed with this incurable, terminal, progressive, degenerative condition. And it was like an atom bomb going off in my world. So my career prospects, I was still like, I had all the energy of somebody in their late 20s, but my career prospects were essentially in the toilet. I felt like I had this amazing gig for 6 years, but ultimately that all I had done was deferred, my post-college like job search. But now I was at a disadvantage because I was in my late 20s, so I was essentially unemployable. And then my mom was like sick, and I had to essentially move back to New York to try to understand what was going on with her. And so I felt like just absolutely lost. And on top of that, I was, I had this job, so I had some riz in terms of like, public notoriety, but it hadn't paid me a lot. So I wasn't wealthy, I wasn't famous. So I was like getting broker by the day. My personal life was growing increasingly tragic with my mom, and it was like incredibly upsetting, and I had to be there for my family, of course. And my job prospects were essentially in the toilet. And so it was like a really depressing time. I mean, it was like rock bottom for me. But I remember specifically latching onto the word trust, that I had to trust myself, that whatever had gotten me that job that I had gotten out of college on TV with all the accolades and whatever that came with that I just had to trust that there was something in me that was going to find a way. It was like my balcony moment, I guess, at that point. And I started learning all that I could about nutrition and health, lifestyle, as it pertained to the category of conditions that my mom had developed. And I just started seeding the world with what I was learning as I was learning it in real time, with no real career, like no path had been laid out in front of me. There was no precedent for what I, aspired to do. And again, like writing a book was not on my radar at that point. But I just kept like, putting out value into the world for free, like on social media, learning, sharing, and ultimately sharing, because I knew that the best way to learn was to teach. So I was, doing my best to teach whatever followers I had at that point about what I was learning in real time. And, but it was the word trust that I would always come back to, like, just trust yourself. Like, you don't see the path yet. Like, the path hasn't revealed itself, your future, like how you're going to earn a living hasn't revealed itself, but it will. As long as you trust yourself, you don't doubt yourself, you listen to the criticism, but you don't like internalize it. And I just kept doing that every day. I just like showed up, and I would like do one thing, differently that would just in a way advance my mission just a little bit further. You know, my dad would say, like, just push the stone, like every day, just push the stone a little bit further. And ultimately, like, all these opportunities revealed themselves to me, and it snowballed, and you know, now I have this like career that I'm incredibly proud of and grateful for every day. But yeah, it was the word trust. I remember I had a friend of mine launch this company where he was inscribing intention words on a bracelet. The company was called My Intent, if I recall correctly. And the word that I picked was trust. And every day I would just like, or, you know, multiple times a day, I would notice the word trust. And I would just like, it would be like a reminder to just always like trust whatever it was in me that had gotten me to that point was going to carry me forward.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear about your mother.
Oh, thanks. It's part of my story.
Yeah.
And everybody has sickness in their family or hopefully not, but we all go at some point. We're all just walking each other home at the end of the day, right?
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. I didn't know it's a Ram Dass quote. Oh. Yeah, we're all just walking each other home. But yeah, that's my story. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I just remember but I have definitely been at rock bottom. Mm-hmm. And in all the ways that one can be at rock bottom, you know, all the ways. And it was that word that propelled me forward. Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.